Hello there, everybody. I am back with another installment of a layout walkout, or sorry, a layout walkthrough. And I'm just pulling myself up here to make sure I'm in the frame. Yay! Okay. So this week we are working on this guy right here. Now I post these challenges in my Ashley Scrapbook VIP group on Facebook, so if you're not on there, go request to join, and then every week I post a new one and there are prizes involved, so make sure you check that out. Today I am doing a Thanksgiving layout, even though there's a pool layout on here. I love this new pool collection, by the way. It's amazing. But I literally pulled all the scraps I had from fall because I wanted to use these up and just use up some scraps, and this is a really good layout to do that with. Now I will say the instructions are a little wonky. I copied and pasted quick from the CM blog, and as I was going through this today I realized that they are, there's 2-step 4s and there's no instructions for this, and they mix some things up. So I'm gonna go back and fix this, repost it to my blog, and that way you guys have the good version of the instructions. So just know this is what's out there right now. I'm gonna fix it though. All right, so I'm actually doing some Thanksgiving photos. I have a little boy in here that I can't show, so his face is covered. But I'm doing some Thanksgiving photos today, and I pulled out, oh my goodness, there are fall papers from all different collections. I have these laser borders, which are layered laser borders, which are amazing. And every time CM comes out with a fall collection, it's gorgeous. Just know fall collections tend to sell out super quick. So when you see this year's come around, usually it's in, I want to say it's even in August. I'm guessing it's going to be August this year because that's when they're doing a Croptoberfest launch, and they usually go hand in hand. It sells quick. So last year was Autumn Cottage, sold quick. The year before that I believe was Autumn Harvest, sold quick. So autumn collections go quick just because people use them for pumpkin stuff, and fall's just a big time of year, Thanksgiving, all that. And like I'm doing today, I'm doing a Thanksgiving layout. So I just pulled in all the scraps of what I have, so none of these are really available, so I apologize for that. But I just wanted to show you guys a sampling of how to use scraps for one, another way to use up scraps, and just like how impressive CM's fall lines are. So just so you know, when you see those come out, grab them, okay? So we're going to muddle through these instructions, even though they're not the best. I might take some notes on them actually as I go. I have a pen right here. I'll put around there. And I am actually using a scrap for my base because the step one is use a piece of white cardstock for the base of this layout. And I want to use like this textured beige cream look thing. It has more of a fall vibe, cozy vibe to me. So I'm going to use that. I just want to make sure I'm staying in frame. Perfect. So I'm going to use that, and we're just going to cover this with our top piece. Okay. So as we go here, you will see how this is going to work. All right. So then we have step 2, cut a sheet, and this is where it gets wonky because I think they meant to say this tile sheet. Okay. Cut a piece of blue pool water designer paper, which is this one, to 12 by 5, but that's certainly not 12. So I'm pretty sure this is the tiled, which I'm just going to go ahead, tile designer paper to 12 by 5. They didn't even acknowledge this one, so I'm going to just guess on that and write in my own instructions. So like I said, I will make sure I put in the correct instructions on my blog when I'm all done. So to start, I'm going to cut this at 5 inches. We're going to do this with their tiled one. It's going to be 12 by 5, which makes more sense to me. I think whoever's writing it got distracted. I don't know. Otherwise, maybe it was just because, someone wrote it, or maybe I messed it up. Maybe I accidentally hit delete or something. I don't know. I will go back and fix it either way. So, and this is going to be this top piece here, and I want to use this pretty wood. And their fall collections tend to have, I love this side too, actually. Oh my goodness. That might be the piece that goes on top. I didn't quite decide what I wanted to do there yet. This one's from the Golden Harvest, or Autumn Harvest. I think this one's from Autumn Harvest, and it's spectacular. So, they usually have some kind of wood mixed in with their things. And as you can see, I have a big hole like on the side of my paper. So I'm just going to tape runner around that. And this is a good way, if you've used a sheet where you just like cut something out on it and you're like, oh, what do I do with this now? One, you can use it to cut out other things, or you might be able to use it as a base. And of course I went too low on that one, oops. Luckily, if you do it quick, you can kind of use your nail to pull it back up. I'm just gonna kind of fold it up underneath there. Well, it might give a little too much texture there. Okay. You're just gonna kind of cover it up with another sheet. So layouts like this are really good for hiding when you've cut something out. So it worked out pretty nice there. Redo this corner here, just because I had to peel that back up. There we go. All right, so that's done. And then I'm gonna say step 3, and we're gonna get off on our steps here, but that's okay. We're gonna cut, and I am guessing on this. These are 3x3 photos, so I'm gonna guess this is a 4x10. We're just gonna go with 4x10. Cut a 4x10 piece, and then this is the blue water pool. Blue water paper. On mine it's not that, obviously, but to go with that, I'm going with it. And I think I do like this paper actually on top of that, so I'm just going to use this piece again. I could pick through my scraps over here, but I really like the vibrancy of these leaves, so I'm going to go with those. And we know this is 4x10. Well, we don't know for sure, but I'm going to say 4x10 and hope for the best. And then we need to cut at 10. This trimmer is amazing. If you've never had one, it's the best trimmer I've ever used. So I say a plug every time for it because I love it that much. Forever I was using an old Cricut one, old Fiskars one, and this one is boss, y'all. I love it. But I'm not here to do that. All right, and so this looks right compared to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on top of that top piece there. I love this wood grain. I love all wood grain papers. This one's really cool. Okay, and I'm gonna guesstimate about an inch. I'm not like looking, but it's about an inch on the outsides. Okay, and rather than go to my photos next, I'm gonna go ahead and do my little strips here. So next we're gonna cut 4 6-inch by 2.5-inch strips with a variety of designer papers, and they list what they use there. They say 4, even though there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 when you cut this one in half, but one of their strips is from a mat, so really I'm gonna need 5. Okay, and I might actually change that and just say use a mat if you want. Okay, 1 strip from a mat if desired. Okay, so just so you know, you can play with mats if you want. I didn't have any good mats for that part of this. I do have a bunch of fall mats over here that are from various collections, Autumn Cottage, Autumn Harvest, and I love the colors of these. I just wasn't ready to really use any of these titles, so I'm going to add my own titles later, but the mats are an option. Don't forget about mats when it comes to things like this, because I could cut like a strip out of this or this, you know, and make it look really cool. Maybe I will. We'll see. I'll set those aside just in case I'm going through my scraps over here and I'm like, I don't really like that. So I'm just going to go through here. This one's really cool. It's from Spice Plum. I can name almost all the collections. It's so funny. And I'm just going to keep putting them together and see. That's really pretty with the leaves. You know, I could take one of these and do another one with the leaves. Just hang on to the full collection there, because I know it's all from the same one. This one's really cool with that. I think this one, that's like the same yellow. I might matte photos on that, actually, the top ones there. Okay, I'm gonna set these aside. I really like this. The wood's not gonna work as well. And I'm gonna go through my mats, because these are mats I've had for a while now. And I'm like, why don't I use them? I could do a journal mat just by cutting a strip out of that. I gotta make sure these are at least 6, so they are. These are 4x6. So I could use any of these. I'm gonna consider that. So this is an excellent way to use mats as well. I'm guessing I'm gonna want more of the patterns then of those, which are gonna be my larger ones. I mean, that's not bad. I do like this blue because it pops with those bubbles there. I like the leaves. I don't want to use up too many of my mats because I'm gonna want some for later on. I love that. That's really cool. I like this too. I just want a variety of colors here. I might do boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the journal one just because I don't know how that's gonna go. All right, so I'm gonna use up some mats here because I've had these for a long time. These are from like at least 2 collections ago, maybe more. I don't even know. And I'm just gonna cut these out of mats on this piece of scrap. So I need my trimmer again. And we're just cutting strips for now. I know that these look like banners, but we're gonna do that in a minute. So we need, 6 inch. I accidentally crossed out the wrong way. We need 5 of them. Okay. So we need them at least 6 inches. So I'm gonna need my arm back out. 2.5. Ooh, this is 2.5. Okay. I was like, oh, this might not be wide enough. It is. We're good. We're golden. Okay. So there's one. I feel like, oh, these are slightly larger. I was like, I thought these were 6. They're 6.5. That's okay. And cut that off. And then 2.5. 2.5. Here's another. Now I could, you know, use the other one. Well, it's going to be too narrow, but because these are 4, so it's not going to be directly in half. Just remembered that. I am mathematically challenged. If you have not watched these before, now you know I am mathematically challenged. I also cannot do things straight. So putting things on my paper is interesting at best. Somehow it works though, and it's okay. You do not have to be perfect a scrapbook. I think there's that misconception because every time I ask someone to try scrapbooking, they look at me like I'm crazy and go, oh, I'm not good enough to scrapbook. And I go, yes, you are. So all it takes is a willingness to try. Oops. See, I already messed it up. Oh, there we go. It did come off. And it's your own style, so there's no wrong way to do it, right? Here we go. Just this weekend, I had someone, I was doing cards, and they're like, no, I'm not good at that. But I'm like, these you are good at it because they're literally a kit. So trust me, you can try it. And if you hate it, that's fine, but at least try it. I'm actually doing a class on Thursday at the pier. At the pier. I say it like it's like the pier in Ludington. But at the pier in Ludington, not like the actual pier, but like there's a place called the Pier, and it has a bunch of venues in there, like shops and humanities in there, and a Brother's Twisted Whisk, and a peer-to-peer picnic. So if you're local, you know those are. If not, it's just a bunch of venues that sell different treats and tea and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be doing a class there, and I'd love for you to come try it out. On Thursday at 1. It's free. You can come get some things. Okay. So next, cut a V-notch in one end of each strip. Adhere side by side. Blah blah blah. Okay. So to do a notch, this is a little thicker because it's mats. I tend to gently fold. This is going to be a little harder because they're thicker paper. If it's regular paper, so this is regular, we'll just do this one. I like to meet my 2 ends together. Okay. I'm just going to meet those together. Don't make too big of a crease, but you can make a little crease. And you're just going to hold this. And you're going to cut from the corner to the middle, and that might have been a really big notch. It's not bad. Okay, like that. So that's how you make a notch on paper. The mats are a little harder because they're a little heavier. So what I'm probably going to do is use this as a template, put it on top, and I'm going to cut my notches out with that. So that is an easy way to create banners. And again, they don't have to all be perfect. They don't even have to fully match. Just get them as close as you can. Here's another one. I'm just going to cut a little banner notch out of each one. Oops. I try not to cut my template because it just keeps getting cut over and over. It's smaller and smaller. Okay. And if I really want to, I can use like this piece as a template now. Just keep shifting. You just want them all to be relatively the same size. And like I said, I can't do anything straight, so it's good to have a template. I know I need a template. Some people can eyeball this just fine. I know it will be a disaster if I did that, so. And honestly, I'd probably still use it, because, like, yeah, it's mine. It's fine. And while I do want my page to look nice, I also don't want to spend hours and hours putting one together. If the page takes me more than 45 minutes or an hour, I tend to be like, no. There are some that are worth it, that look really cool, and if I look at it before and I go, yeah, that looks pretty cool, I'm gonna try it, then that's fine. But half the time I'm just like, no. Alright, and then what they did here, they cut one kind of in half. It's not fully in half. Well, maybe it is fully in half. I'm just trying to decide how I want to go about this. Or you could just adhere them all on there and trim off the extra, but just make sure you're kind of even cutting off on the ends there. So you're gonna have like a half an inch more. Is it half an inch? About a half inch more, I believe, once you get them all lined up on there. And this is a good place to use repositional, because then you can move them. I just lay them out and look at them and go, oh, okay, that looks good. I think I like that. So I'm gonna have some excess to trim off, and that is fine. Looks like they did too. Which side is this gonna be leaning on? This side. So once you get it how you like it, go ahead and adhere them down. Putting them butted up against your top piece and the next strip. I do love this leaf paper. I think it's so pretty. And I think it was a good move to go with all the same collection, because I'd have a lot of color schemes going on here. My goal is just to use up some scraps, but instead I'm using up mats, so that's okay. I'm happy with that. I have so many fall mats because I usually just do the buy it all bundles. And this year I appreciate that they have lessened how many mats they put in a pack. So I don't have as many to deal with. But back then when they had this collection, there were like 24 mats, which is so many. And with certain projects I use a ton of mats, but not with everything. So alright, so those are all on there. You can go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to trim off the excess by lining this up on my trimmer again. Try not to trim into my page. It's going to be a little overhang there. Just didn't want to go too far. Get as close as you can. This trimmer can do pretty good. My mat's getting worn out. I have one coming. I ordered it and I didn't realize I didn't have any more. And I was like, oh no. So it's a little dull. But literally I don't have to change my blade. All I have to do is change my little mat strip underneath. So it's hard to get a really close cut for me right now, but typically this trimmer does pretty good. That was my bad. Not getting a mat in time. Alright, there we go. That's good enough for me. And I have all these pieces over here I need to clean up later. Alright, look at that. It's coming together. I love it. And yeah, as you can tell, I've thrown the instructions out pretty much. So we're going to add a border here next. And I love these laser ones. These are actually, I believe these are Golden Harvest, so this isn't the same collection. But I am not sure if they had borders for the Autumn Harvest ones. I think it was mostly just embellishments, because these are Autumn Harvest. But I don't think they had borders, so I'm just going to use one of these because they're pretty close in color scheme. I really like this piney one, but I was also like, ooh, Christmas. I can see using that for Christmas. But I tend to do that. I tend to hang on to something. I'm like, I gotta keep this for Christmas, and then I don't use it. So I'm not gonna throw it all the way out. The pine cones are cute. The other one I liked was this pumpkin fence, and I love that they put them in the packaging like this. These sleeves are pretty good too. I just didn't know if it was going to be too invasive of that top piece is all. Just because on here it's such a narrow border. So maybe what I'll do first is do my photos first. So so I know how far those are going to come out, and then I will go from there. So, all right, so these top photos are 3x3, and here we have the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on our TV. There were the grannies in the Bluey car, and if you know anything about Bluey, or my family in general, you know we love Bluey, especially the grannies. So I had to get a picture, and of course it's going in the Thanksgiving pages, which is perfect because this is a smaller picture. Okay, I gotta make sure this one's gonna work. Ooh, it should. Okay. And then I'm gonna do this little one of Lucy and her cousin playing near the coziness of the fireplace there. On Thanksgiving, they're waiting for dinner to get ready. We always love doing it. I like to call it the Thanksgiving tour, where we go from like, we have 3 dinners in a day also. We go from house to house, and we are like eating so much, and we are like, oh, we'll just get dessert at this one. We'll just get stuffing at this one. And then we end up having like full plates of food at everyone, because it's just so good. Thanksgiving is definitely my favorite holiday. Not just because of the food, but because, I mean, I don't have to cook, which is a bonus, but I love seeing family and just that cozy feel of it. I love that too. Okay, so then we're going to mat our photos. I only have one piece of this, I think. I figure out I want to mat this bottom photo, and I know I want these on yellow. I could go through mats and use even more mats. Use even more mats up for this one. Ooh. The wood would be kind of neat here. I gotta trim it down. I don't know if that's too much wood. Maybe it's too much. I just have this brown, sandy looking craft paper. Or I do have an orange. There's so many good options, especially when you're matching collections. They all can tend to work together well. Let's see. This one's really pretty, but that picture is going to be too wide. I could cut the picture down too. I just don't like to do that if I don't have to. There's a red. Can we get more red? Ooh, red's very nice. I like the red so far. Here's a darker wood. That might be cozy looking. Ooh, that's nice too. Okay, I like the wood. We're gonna go wood. I'm sold. Okay. If you also know me, you know that I'm also very indecisive. So when I embellish, I tend to sign off because I'm just humiliated by how indecisive I can be. Okay, so these are 3x3. I'm gonna make the mats. I can tell you how big the mats are. And mount on 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, at least they told me that. 3 1/4 and 2 of these. Okay, 3 1/4. There's one. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Perfect. Okay. I saw this piece left over. It's gonna be too small for what I want to do with it. I think I do want to mix it up. So I am going to stick these to their little teeny tiny fun mats for little teeny tiny fun pictures. I love fall pages, especially Thanksgiving ones. You know, it makes sense because I love fall, so. And I love Thanksgiving, so it works out pretty nice. And then I'm going to stick this here. I don't know what I'm doing for titles yet, but we will think of something or find something. I have so much fall stuff. I'm sure I have something that's gonna work just fine. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this on here. And I'm gonna trim this up. Photos are smaller than 4x6. These are actually true digital, so they're a little smaller. Which I didn't even look up how big that is. It's supposed to be a 4x6, so a normal size photo is fine there. Oh, I could center it. I could do it off to the side like the example. I think I will do it off to the side. And then maybe journal or add some kind of embellishment there. I need to fix this little, there we go. All right, so those are all down. Now I need to figure out what border I'm gonna go with here. I don't know if I like the fence anymore. This is really nice. I like the pine cones quite a bit because it's like that extra shot of brown. But now that I used, ooh, the yellow is very nice. I could go digging for other, let's see. I'm not fully satisfied. Let's see here. Pull out my fall folder, and there was more in here, trust me. We have some borders here. We have border stickers. We have so many borders. Cottage, let's see. I'm just gonna pull out things that match this collection pretty well. Oh, that's weird, it's in a different bag. This is Autumn Cottage. Here's some Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's always a good one to go with here. Let's see, that's Thanksgiving. Here's some more Autumn Harvest. Ooh, that's pretty good too. There are so many cute autumn collections. I have so much left. But yet I still have to buy it when it comes out because I'm obsessed with autumn. It's my favorite holiday, y'all. My favorite season. Okay, so I pulled out some coordinating stuff here. I'm not gonna throw those out yet. I'm gonna consider them still. Could do little acorns maybe. Ooh, that's nice. Not feeling those. I like to look at my options and then decide. Oh my goodness, there's a pumpkin pie border. Hold on. That's so cute. Oh, does it work here? Or should I save it? That's adorable. Eee. I'm gonna save it because I like the scheme here. I don't know if it needs to be more leaves, so it might be acorns. I'm gonna go acorns. So hard to choose sometimes, oh my goodness. And I am notoriously awful at placing these straight, but actually that one turned out pretty good. I like the acorns because it's just subtle enough, it's not overpowering everything else. So there we go, we got our border. Whew, we're good. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. All right, let's see, do we have anything else we need to do? I need to add some embellishments and a title, obviously. So let's see what we got for that. Here's some Thanksgiving things. These really cute, vibrant stickers. I haven't touched these, that's nuts. Might have to use those. These embellishments are so pretty. Oh, there's a really lovely journal box here, or something I can layer a title on. Let's check that out. These are gorgeous. That is real nice. Oh my goodness. Thankful. Oh, you guys, that might be it right there. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, I think that might be the winner. There's also this cute wood one. I don't want too many circles going on here. I also wonder if it's taking away. No, I like that. Okay, hold on. This is the part where I get indecisive. I really like this one. Okay, I threw it on there and it was just like boom. So I think that's the winner. This is really pretty too. But I don't know if it's too much. Crisp days. Let's see what we got for titles and other types of things. I could always journal there too. I just don't want to do too much on one place. Let this house be filled. Oh, that's cute. Okay, that might be the winner here. Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. Yes, sir. That is for sure. So good. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's nice too. I love all the Thanksgiving vibes in this collection. And CM tends to do that quite a bit with their autumn stuff because I know people use them for more than just autumn stuff. I use them for Thanksgiving too. And I have all these little leaves. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is nice. I hardly ever let you guys stay on when I'm doing this, so I guess it gets so self-conscious. Self-conscientious, maybe? Is that the word? I get embarrassed with myself. Oh my gosh. Okay. These leaves are a must. Yep. So pretty. Sometimes I just find embellishments and it all just comes together, because sometimes I really struggle with, you know, what to use where, and this time I'm just like, nope, this is it. I know exactly what I want to do. I think I like that. Yikes. Okay, so many choices. Oh, here's some little pops of yellow. Look at this pumpkin spice latte. It doesn't work here, but I like it. This is pretty. Oh, I'm gonna use all these leaves. It's gorgeous. Like I said, every autumn collection CM comes out with is just so amazing. This is, okay, we need some yellow. Yep, that's it. These cute little pumpkins. I might be going overboard, but I don't really care. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. That's what we're doing. This little yellow one hanging out there. I think that's it. Okay, now I gotta put it all on and remember how it was. I'm gonna use Repo. To rewind the video. How did I have that? Ah, so funny. Pretty. Okay. It's always scary putting these on because I want to do it exactly how I had it. But sometimes I forget how I had it, like from the moment I move it to just putting tape on it. Okay. This one here. Try to take a mental picture every time I move one. This is just a tedious part of putting a layout together. Just regular on this one. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Like that. And now, stressful. All right. I'm stressed out just because I want it to look as good when I put it back. I'm just using whatever I have near. Moved. Stay. Hold on, I'm gonna put my pumpkins down first. Finish that, and I'm gonna do something with the title. Okay, so for the title, because I want to add a little more depth to this, I'm gonna use some foam squares. How fun will that be? So I'm just gonna get a few of these different sizes. Okay. I know I'm using an obscene amount, but this has a lot going on here. Okay. And all you do is stick those on, and then you just peel up the pieces like you're creating a sticker. Really cool sticker, like those fancy stickers you can buy for like $8 at Hobby Lobby. You can just make one with foam squares and an embellishment. How exciting! Okay, and I'm gonna put that there just to add a little more depth. How cute! You guys, this is awesome. I think I got them all on. Perfect. And later I can journal on there, or this is like one of the many pages I have in the series of pictures I have from Thanksgiving. So this just might be perfect for what I have. But I love how this turned out. I think it's gorgeous. So I hope you love how your page turned out as well. Again, if you're on my Ashley Scrappy VIPs, please post your finished product or your finished, page. That way you can get in on my drawing. because I draw from people that submit them. So make sure you request to join that and to get in on all that. All right. Well, that was fun. I really actually enjoyed that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and that you let me see what you did. So you guys take care. Have a good one.